Hi, everybody. Welcome to another week of Women Empowering Women. I am Galit Ventura Rosen, your host. As always, one of my favorite things to do is interview women from all over the world that are entrepreneurs and really making a difference in the world and in others' lives. So today I'm very excited to have from Oklahoma City, Paula McDade. Welcome.
Thank you, Galit. Thank you so much. I'm glad to be on your show.
Looking forward to talking to you about our topic today, which I think is a really big one, especially for women and men in the entrepreneur world. So we'll jump into your topic in just a second, but I've got to read a little bit about your bio, and I'd love to hear a little bit more about your journey and how you got here. One of my favorite things to do is hear about everyone's journeys and how we ended up being in this world of giving and teaching and empowering. So
Yes.
Paula McDade is a multi-talented creative who possesses an intuitive knowledge and fresh perspective on the solopreneur lifestyle. She is passionate about supporting entrepreneurs because she knows the essence of visual branding. It involves trust. Through her company, Stellar Creative LLC, Paula guides her clients through the landscape of communicating a stellar, love that word, stellar visual image for their business, ministry, and nonprofit ventures. Love that. So tell us a little bit how you got here.
Oh, wow. Do you have time?
I do.
So I've been creative since I was a small child. I loved to draw. I loved to do freehand drawings. I started that even in elementary school, and I would sell my drawings to my classmates for their lunch money. And so that was my very.
So you were a real young entrepreneur.
Yes, and didn't even know it. I had no idea that that's what that was called back then, but it was just a spark inside of me that said, I can create something of value and people want this. And so, but of course, you go through life and you grow up and things happen and life happens, and some of that spark begins to die. And, so I have had several jobs. My career is extensive. I tell people I've worked in just about every sector of society that there is, to include corporate America, small business, education, nonprofit. So I've got a pretty extensive career. And, after you've done all of that work, you start thinking, wow, what is it that I'm really passionate about? What is it that motivates me to get out of bed in the morning? And for me, I wasn't really able to identify that until I talked to some other individuals who didn't even know me, but they told me that they could sense that I had some really strong creative talents and gifts that needed to be used that I was not utilizing at the moment. And when we had this conversation, I didn't know what to do with that information. I really didn't. And then one day, just out of the blue, I started thinking, I'm doing graphic design services for my friends and family for free. I'm doing their flyers for their car washes and their cakes, bake sales, and, business cards and everything. I could really turn this into a business. And so I did. I turned it into a business, and it wasn't that simple, of course, but that is how we got here to this space. And so it started with graphic design, but then it spun off into publishing because I had friends who wanted to publish their own books and they didn't know how. And so I had to learn on the fly. So I learned how to do self-publishing, and I spun off into publishing with my business. And so now we not only do graphic design, but we also do publishing of books. And I'm also the editor-in-chief of a magazine now. So
what is your magazine called, Paula?
The magazine is Brilliant Awakening Magazine, and it highlights the stories of women who have overcome some tremendous obstacles in their lives and come out on the other side to live their best life.
I love that. Good for you. So it really sounds like your basis for everything that you're doing is really to uplift others. And do you work with men? I'm assuming you work with men and women.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
In the creative side of my business, I'm always acquiring new clients, and a lot of them are men.
Of course.
A lot of them are men of influence, and they need a great visual brand to convey their message. And so I help them as well.
And branding, we're not going to be talking in great detail about that today, but we both know that branding really is the core of what allows us to do what we do, because it's just clear to those that are out there. Even though we have these gifts, we don't always have the know-how to how to show others what it is. So I love that you said that. And I also love that as many women as I've interviewed, I've probably interviewed over 100 now, we all have this one parallel, which is so similar to your beginning story, where, and I keep seeing it over and over again, and that's why I love interviewing ladies like you, where, well, I was told about these gifts, but then I didn't know what to do with it. And then I figured it out. And then the opportunity showed up, and I'm like, wait, I'll open this and I'll do this. And isn't it amazing?
Yeah, it is. It really is amazing. And it just speaks to the fact that other people can typically see things in you that you don't see for yourself,
Always.
because and I love that about humanity, that we can speak into one another and ignite something that we didn't even know we had. So I like that.
I love that we didn't know that we had, because it's always there. It's interesting. I work with a lot of women more than men. And it's interesting because many times it's there. Like, it's not that someone like you and I are inventing you or coming up with something that isn't already there. It's just that we're bringing it to the surface. So I love how you said that. And I think branding is such a big piece of that. And what you're doing in all aspects, the magazine, the publishing, everything really connects together. Because like I said at the beginning, you can have a gift, but if you're holding on to it and not sharing it with the world, is it really a gift anymore because you're not sharing it?
Yes, absolutely. A gift is meant to be shared. It's meant to be exposed to the world. And those who appreciate and need what you have will automatically be attracted to what you are doing. I've never had to hang out a shingle. I've never had to put out an advertisement for my company. People have literally just come to me because they've been attracted to what I do.
Isn't that amazing? I am blown away by that. That is something that I actually only started this new venture about 16, 17 months ago. And it has been amazing how, even though I say we put in the work, Paula, we work hard and we put in the work, but there's something effortless about the idea that when you're doing what you're doing, Paula, it literally attracts the right person. And some people don't always understand that word. They're like, what do you mean you attract? And they immediately think about a man and a woman being attracted to each other. Well, yeah, it's kind of similar. There's almost a magnetic energy there that you have, that you're putting out into the world, which I can visually see myself talking to you, that you're going, hey, I want to rock your brand. I want to rock your gift.
Yes,
Let me
absolutely.
help you and show you how.
Yes. That's what wakes me up in the morning. That's what gets me out of bed. That's what keeps me up late at night, is I'm always thinking about how I can serve my audience and give them everything that they need to, just blow things out of the water. And typically, if I don't get the, oh my gosh, I love it response, then I know I need to go back to the drawing board, because that's the only response that is acceptable to me.
Oh, I love it. Well, let's jump into our topic. I think it's such an important topic that we're going to be talking about today. And it really is about resistance, learning how to build up your resistance to the temptation to quit, give up, and throw in the towel as you navigate the rough terrain of business growth. And two of those words just jumped at me when you said, hey, this is what I want to talk about. And I don't even question when the woman that I'm interviewing fills out this information. I have never asked a woman that I've interviewed to change her topic, because I believe you are the expert. And I'm so blessed because every topic that's come my way has been just so relevant to what can help others. So I love the word build up your resistance. I love that statement. And I love the navigate.
Yes.
Those two are amazing. So take us through this topic for a little bit before we give everyone some tips on how to do this.
So obviously firsthand experience, I've gone through every cycle of business growth, from inception, where you're very excited about your new idea and you can't wait to launch it and get it off the ground, to early stage startup, where you're now establishing yourself and getting your feet wet in the industry. And then, you know, going from that to now you have a client base that you're regularly working with, and you're not having to push as hard as you did at the beginning, to maturity, where now, you know, you're settling back and thinking about how to diversify your business and how to have new offerings and keep it fresh and exciting. So through all of those cycles, at each stage of growth, there is a temptation. And it's the temptation to either get comfortable and stay where you are, or to shrink back and go backwards in your business. And you never want to do that. So I can speak to every one of those stages.
I know from my experience, Paula, and also from my clients' experiences, it's almost as if it's expected to show up every time we're ready to go to the next level. And it's interesting because some people might say, well, you're putting that out there. Oh, no, it shows up. So you gave it in such a clear format. You're going to either want to stay where it's comfortable, or you're going to fight and resist what's coming.
Yes, absolutely.
That's why I'm excited about this topic. I think it's so relevant to I don't care who you are. I don't care how much you have this packed down, this up leveling and this growing. It shows up.
Yes, yes, absolutely. It does show up. And the perfect example. So of course, I was way past the startup phase in my business. I've gotten really, really good at, you know, that particular phase of where Stellar Creative was. And I'd already launched into publishing, and I decided I'm going to do an anthology. And this anthology is going to be 20 women telling their stories about adversity, tragedy, trauma, and overcoming those things. And so doing that was like the beginning phase of the next level for me in publishing. It's one thing to do your own book, it's one thing to publish your own stuff, but when you start handling other people's stories, those are precious and you don't want to mishandle. So I did the project and it was like, oh my gosh, yay. And it was a success. We celebrated. Awesome. I get to the end of that project and I'm like, whew, now I can breathe, now I can rest. And it's like, no, you can't. No, you absolutely cannot. It's time to take it to the next level. And I'm going, what? We just got past this level. Can I, you know, take a vacation now? And it's like, no, you have, you know, you want to kick back and celebrate your win. And immediately I felt this push to start the magazine. Now, mind you, I know nothing about magazine publishing or the industry or how that works. I didn't even know the design elements for a magazine. So I'm literally starting from very little knowledge. I'm a magazine aficionado though, because I faithfully have certain publications that I support and buy on a regular basis and have for quite some time. So taking this desire from seed form to the fullness of an actual full-blown magazine, and now we're going on our second edition coming out at the end of the month, yay, or the beginning of June. I literally had to wade in the water, if you will. I literally had to just figure it out along the way. And to look at the finished product, you would never know that.
Never.
To look at the finished product, you would think this woman has published before, she's worked for a large magazine, she's done all of this before, and absolutely not. I simply took the passion and desire that I had at the last level and just took it up a notch. So,
and I love it. Do you know why I love it, Paula? Because I still feel like that falls in alignment with what we discussed at the beginning. When you do what you love, when you do what you were meant to do, you don't always need to know the how.
Right.
You just need to know that you're meant to do it. And so you were like, I'll figure this out. The how you can figure out, right?
Yes,
the how absolutely. You figured out.
Sure.
And then you just took it, and on the other side, let's say, here's Paula, but on the other side is what people are seeing, and they're going, wait, this woman's been doing this forever. As long as who cares? Let them think that.
Yes.
That's what it's about, because you knew you were supposed to do that.
I did. I had a very strong impression that I was supposed to do that. And so the not quitting. I'm sorry.
You followed through.
Yeah. The not quitting part was me saying, although I am terrified of this process, I'm going to push through the fear and just do it afraid.
Paula, I've come to a understanding that I have to live in the uncomfortable every single day to succeed
Yes.
at what I'm
Yes.
supposed to. So
Absolutely.
as many people as are uncomfortable with the uncomfortable, they have to
Yes.
recognize that we become comfortable with the uncomfortable,
Yes. Yes.
right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
You
what are
have to.
some of the tips we can give? Give us a few little tips of how those that are watching and myself can know when this shows up, how can we not quit? How can we not throw in the towel?
Well, you definitely have to find something bigger than you outside of what your current situation is. You have to find the bigger picture. So, what is it? Is it serving others? You know, with what you have? Is it making an impact in the world? Is it leaving a legacy for younger generations? What is that thing? It's called your why. It's your motivating factor that gets you out of bed every day, motivates you to keep going. So once you identify that why, for me, it is of course starting with my grandchildren. I want to be able to, for them to look back and say, you know what, my grandmother provided a foundation for us that was not only impactful and powerful, but it caused me to want to do something bigger with my life. I feel like if I accomplish that, I have done everything I came onto this planet to do. Because not only is it going to spill over to my grandchildren, it will spill over to their children and their children. So making an impact for future generations, building wealth for future generations is a big, big part of my why. And I think once you identify that, that is going to be the motivating factor that gets you beyond your little selfish, oh, I don't want to get out of bed today. Oh, this project is hard. Oh, I don't have the money, so I'm just going to quit and give up. It'll get you beyond that. So that's one. The other thing is making sure that you keep a circle of individuals, and it doesn't have to be a large circle. It can be 2 people. It can be 3 people. Keeping a circle around you that holds you accountable to do the thing that you say you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so you want to start a new division to your business? Awesome. What are you doing towards that? Have you written your business plan? Have you looked into funding? Have you applied for grants? What is that thing that's going to be the next step towards this goal that you say you want to achieve? And your accountability circle, they really have to love you because they have to be able to tell you the hard truths about yourself.
I
You
love
know,
that.
I don't see you giving this 100% effort. Are you sure this is something you're passionate about? I see you being really distracted right now with other things. Maybe you need to put this on the shelf for now and come back to it once those distractions have gone away. So keeping that success circle. So identifying your why, keeping your success circle, and then also making sure that you're practicing self-care. We as entrepreneurs go 24/7. We literally work from sun up to sundown. But if we're not building in that self-care into our lifestyle, eating right, exercising, meditating, whatever that is for you, taking time out to just enjoy life or enjoy nature or commune with God, whatever it is that gives you, that replenishes you and helps you to refocus your energy, you have to be practicing great self-care, because as entrepreneurs, again, we give out so much, we do so much for others, we have clients that we serve, we have an audience that's looking at us. So self-care is the ultimate gift that you can give yourself as an entrepreneur. So
Those are
just
wonderful tips.
yes,
Wonderful.
absolutely. So self-care is important, identifying your why and making sure you have a good success circle.
Oh, and the support piece for me has
Yeah.
been such a big part of my success, because
Mhm.
I almost feel like, Paula, and I don't mean it as levels, but I'm going to do it anyways because I'm so visual. I almost feel like my journey has been, okay, there are these women here that
Mhm.
I haven't reached yet, but they're like, let's go, catch up. And
Yes,
then there are
yes,
women here, so I'm in the middle, that are going, hey, Galit, I want to be where you're at. How
yes.
do I do that? And so I
Mhm.
almost feel like that success support system is a constant cycle where I'm
Yes,
going, hey, thank you so much. I appreciate you so much for knowing that I'm supposed to be where you are and you want to get me there, as well as, okay, wait, let me share my gift so those that aren't there yet can be. So
yes, absolutely.
I call it the sisterhood, Paula.
Yes,
I've
yes.
had the
Mhm.
most amazing experience in this journey with the sisterhood of women, and nothing against men. I love men too, but women
Right.
are constantly uplifting each other. Don't see each other as
That's right.
competitors.
Yes,
want to
yes,
see you succeed.
yes, absolutely. I
Have you
agree with
had an
you
experience
wholeheartedly.
like that in your business?
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, these individuals just showed up in my life. I mean, literally, I wasn't looking, I wasn't searching, but they just simply showed up at, I was at an event, or maybe I met someone and we connected, we clicked really well. And before you know it, we're on a regular basis spending time talking, bouncing ideas off of each other, and just uplifting one another. So absolutely, I have a great success circle. I owe a lot of my growth over the last year or so to that success circle, because we've become tighter in that period of time, and I can definitely see the difference.
It's something amazing. I think more than anything, I want those watching today to learn. And we're going to learn a little bit more about how you can work with Paula, and she can do great work for your visibility and branding. But more than anything, I want those watching today to understand that even those that are successful in your eyes are still working through the resistance, working through those things that show up every time they want to get to the next level. This isn't we mastered it. This is
Right.
We have gotten better at getting through it and not allowing it to stop us. And I
Yes.
think that's a really big piece. Sometimes when people look at someone like you and I, Paula, they think they have it all, they have it easy.
Yes.
Please, oh heck no. It shows up
No.
for me on a weekly basis at the rate that I'm going. For goodness
That's right.
sakes.
Yes,
It just showed up a
absolutely.
few days ago. I'm like, all right, step back.
Yes.
Why are you resisting? What's
Yes.
happening here? Are you going to let
Uh-huh.
it just stop? It's like this little mental conversation we have with ourselves, right?
It is. It's a constant running dialogue. And if you don't offset that with the positives, and affirming yourself and making sure that you're personally developed by listening to great audio and reading great books, your mentality can tear down any progress that you make.
Consistency. I'm hearing
Consistency.
from you, be consistent with these tips,
Yes.
support your
Yes.
why. And
Yes.
it's so important for you to understand the self-care piece. Oh my gosh, women do not realize how important that piece is. And a lot of us don't figure it out till late in the game.
Yes, absolutely. And then it's too late. You're sick and you've been diagnosed with something. And I mean, I've had that happen. So that's why I'm a huge advocate of self care, because I was diagnosed in 2009 with an autoimmune disorder that caused me to just really break down physically. And I didn't know what was happening with my body. And it wasn't until I started to do my homework on what I was dealing with that I realized, you are going to have to change your lifestyle. You're going to have to eat differently. You're going to have to manage your stress differently. You're going to have to manage the people in your environment a lot differently. So that was the big shift for me.
Those women that are watching that are on that verge of burning out or not feeling good or something, please, please, please listen to Paula and I, hear us
Yeah.
from our own experiences. I used to years ago push and push and push and end up in bed sick for 7 to 10 days at a time. I'm so blessed now. I haven't been in bed, knock on wood, sick for years. Yes, I
Yes.
still get a cold. Yes, I still get run down, but I stop. I
Yes.
stop and I recognize, whoa, what is it that you're doing that you need to take a step back? So recognize that. I always use the example of, how on the plane they say, put the mask on yourself first before you put it on your child.
Yes.
Please recognize you are a better woman for those around you, because most of us are into self-care. Most of us are caregivers and caretakers.
Yes.
Please recognize that when you put in that self-care piece, you are a better you for everyone around you. So I appreciate you putting that into the tips. So Paula, tell everybody how they can work with you, what you can offer them, and how they can get a hold of you.
All right. So if you will go to my website, first of all, paulamcdade.com, pretty simple. paulamcdade.com will give you a snapshot of who I am and what I do. I do work in the areas of graphic design, web design, and publishing. So if you are looking for someone to work with you, not only to actually create these items, but also to help give you that coaching and mentorship that you need along the way of how to develop these things, I'm the person to go to. So if you're publishing a book, if you're looking to increase your web presence and you want something that really speaks to and represent your brand with excellence, those are the types of things that I can do. And then of course, speaker sheets or business cards cards, things like that. I can help you develop those materials and make your brand really, really shine. And that's what it's all about.
I love that. That's fabulous. Thank you so much, Paula. You are so wonderful. Keep shining your light. It's so fun because when you watch, I don't know if you can see yourself, but you have a light right over you that's just shining. I mean, it's literally pointing at you. So I love that. So thank you for everything you're doing. Thank you for being you. Thank you for shining your light on the world and continuing to do so and uplifting those and showing those that they can share their gift in a way that is logical, but actually makes an impact.
Well, thank you so much, Galit. I appreciate you as well and all the work that you're doing to help individuals to make an impact in the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you so much. I'm Galit Ventura Rosen for watching another week of Women Empowering Women. Have a wonderful day.